The era of the safe job has ended, replaced by an economy of rapid role redesign and the commoditization of routine work. Global economic summits are now centered on a distinct two-track labor market. PwC reports that while roles requiring high-trust human judgment are seeing stronger wage growth, routine roles are facing immediate restructuring as tasks are offloaded to machines. The data from recent hiring cycles shows a clear divergence. Demand for routine task execution is dropping by 13%, while demand for analytical, creative, and technical roles has climbed by 20%. This creates a very unique form of career anxiety. Traditional strategies, like chasing a prestigious job title or relying on company loyalty, fail to protect you when the internal promotion ladders are being rebuilt. Artificial intelligence ignores job titles. It only targets specific tasks. In this environment, your market survival depends entirely on your actual day-to-day outputs. To understand your real vulnerability, consider pixel theory. While we view a career as a full picture, the daily reality is made up of individual pixels, the specific tasks executed hour by hour. If your daily pixels consist entirely of text manipulation, basic data entry, or rules-driven reporting, you are highly exposed. A title like financial analyst offers no protection if 90% of those pixels are routine data reconciliation. Navigating this shift requires treating every new capability as a calculated financial investment. We evaluate these investments using two metrics. First is the input, the hours of friction required to learn the skill. Second is the outcome, the actual salary premium and the skill's resilience against automation. Protecting your livelihood in 2026 means moving past buzzwords and building a skill stack based on proven return on investment. We can map these investments on a quadrant chart. On the bottom, we measure the time and difficulty required to acquire the skill. On the side, we measure its salary impact and resilience. Our first cluster is AI literacy and data analysis. These sit in the bottom left corner and are now considered the baseline. The input here is basic. You must learn prompt patterns, integrate copilots into your daily workflows, and grasp fundamental logic like SQL and statistics. The outcome is a massive increase in speed. A worker fluent in these tools can often execute the standard workload of 3 people. However, because these tools are highly accessible, the barrier to entry is low. These technical abilities are no longer unique advantages. They are table stakes for modern employment. Mastering this baseline likely won't earn you a premium salary, but in a market where job postings for AI-literate roles are growing 69% faster than the baseline, staying analog makes your resume increasingly invisible to hiring systems. Moving up the complexity scale, we plot our next group: problem solving, systems thinking, and domain expertise. These are the multipliers. The input for these multipliers is active implementation. You can't wait to be ready. You must take action on small initiatives to learn the actual mechanics of a specific industry. This transitions you from a task executor into a workflow architect. You understand the business deeply enough to deploy AI agents to solve structural, expensive problems. The trade-off is the time investment. It takes years of trial, error, and domain exposure to build genuine expertise. There is also a risk of obsolescence within this cluster. If you spend years building expertise in an industry facing structural decline, like standard tax preparation, that specialized knowledge becomes stranded. Domain expertise and systems thinking multiply the power of AI tools, provided you apply them to a sector with clear economic tailwinds. Our final cluster contains the most elite career investments: communication, writing, leadership, sales, and critical thinking. We call this the human moat. The input for these skills requires constant public repetition. You have to write executive summaries, facilitate high-stress meetings, and make hard decisions using incomplete data. The outcome is the accumulation of trust. Consistently demonstrating these skills turns you into a highly visible reputation asset for your clients and your managers. In an economy of infinite machine-generated information, the ability to persuade human beings and build trust becomes the primary bottleneck for business success. These skills are incredibly slow to build and impossible to measure perfectly. You cannot accelerate leadership development or critical thinking with a software update. Because AI scales routine cognition instantly, high-friction human trust has become a scarce and therefore highly lucrative asset. We can synthesize these clusters into a barbell strategy for career design. On the left, extreme technical fluency. On the right, intense human friction. The strategy is simple. You use the technical skills on the left to aggressively automate your own routine tasks. You then reinvest that saved time into the human skills on the right, using communication and leadership to solve high-value problems machines cannot own. Being average at both sides of the barbell leads straight to automation. You must be relentlessly technical on one end and purely human on the other. To apply this immediately, we look at your current career stage. For the entry-level worker, the priority is output. Dedicate 80% of your upskilling time to AI literacy and data analysis. The goal for beginners is to outpace peers in sheer volume, while accepting that technical tool sets will likely change every few months. For the mid-career professional, you must stop executing routine technical work. Your focus should shift entirely to leadership, systems thinking, and sales. This is an uncomfortable shift. It requires letting go of your identity as a technical expert to embrace the ambiguity of human management and workflow architecture. To survive this labor market, don't wait for permission. Pick a growing domain, learn the AI tools needed to eliminate the busy work, and focus your career on the human friction that machines fail to resolve.